Hello everybody, welcome to the flight deck of the ATR. We are on our way down into Piarco in Trinidad, trying out the newest driver from nVidia today, 551.23, and the initial report is that it is butter smooth. I mean, just silky smooth, which the last one was too. You know, the one that just came out, I don't know, this is like the second one in maybe a week and a half. There's nothing specific to Microsoft Flight Simulator in the notes. For quite a long time, I was, you know, back in the prepared days, you know, I think like a lot of people, I would find a driver that worked and I'd stick with it for 6 months. I mean, you know, quite a while before I would need a reason to change drivers. Of course, they probably didn't ever bother updating drivers for those, you know, for those sims, because why would they? You know, they were pretty old at that point. But with Microsoft Flight Simulator, I've really gotten into the habit, or was in the habit for a while, of really updating on a pretty regular basis. Start doing the descent checklist here. And landing elevation is automatic, FMS nav data. You know, I think for the initial time period of Microsoft Flight Simulator, I was pretty much like, it's 1013. I was kind of still in that mindset, in that mode, and then I, you know, tried a couple new drivers in a row, and you know, the world didn't come to an end. So you know, lately I've really just been decision I set. Lately, just been updating the drivers whenever they come out. And there was one that came out in, like, I want to say November-ish. It wasn't any good. It's kind of stuttery, and so I went back to an older driver for just a little bit, but now I'm back to updating them when they come out. This is the second new one in a row that I've updated to, and this one seems really, really good, like the last one did. Running the Holy Grail settings, I don't even know if I'm running frame gen, to be honest with you. I suppose I could look. Let's have a look real quick. I am running frame generation. There you go. I didn't even know it, to tell you the truth. So that's the initial part of what we're doing here, coming up on 12,000 feet. The other thing I'm doing today is I'm trying to figure out if this airplane is capable of flying an ILS approach. And already I'm wondering why Curry is there and Shark is there. I mean, it looks like that this goes from Curry and just goes straight out this way, and then Shark is like in the middle of nowhere. But it should go from Curry direct to Shark. Heading 134 is correct. 5 nautical miles is correct. I don't know why the visual here on the MFD is looking a little bit funky. It's looking more than a little bit funky. Oh yeah. It's always, you know, I'm having my moments with this airplane. So first of all, from Shark to Try should be, I think, 11.2 nautical miles, and it's 11. And then from Try to the runway 10 waypoint, it's supposed to be 4.2 nautical miles, and it's 5. So already we've got some issues. You know what? I mean, this is frustrating. Piarco traffic, Caribbean 401 is 20 miles to the east. Inbound runway 10, Piarco. And 40 miles to the west, by the way. But it's going to Shark, which is what it should be doing. So I don't know what this deal is all about here. Let's activate the approach speed here. Man, will you just click? Alright, so now we'll bring the power out, start slowing down. So Shark is the initial approach fix. When you're in heading hold mode, you can go into VS mode. But it should be approach mode, and it should be trying not to be frustrated with this airplane. I mean, you know, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I am the world's best pilot and that I've got everything figured out and everything is the airplane's fault, but it's just like, it's just one thing after another with this airplane. It's one thing after another. And I'm going to go first, I'm going to go 15 degrees of flaps, and then I'm going to try again once this intercepts. I think I am 1.5 miles high. be why. Yes, when your captain is an incompetent fool, it doesn't help. Again, this says try at 4100. It should be try at. It should be 1400. So this says try 4100. It should be 1400, not 4100. In any event, what I'm going to do. Alright, there's radar altimeter, so let's get the speed coming down here. And speed checks for the gear. And we are 1.5 from try. Glide slope and localizer. Cargo traffic Caribbean 401, 5 mile final runway 10 cargo. And speed checks for flaps full. Flaps full it is. I'm going to leave this airplane in autopilot. And I'm going to see if it follows the glide slope, and I'm going to see where that glide slope takes us. And the distance was incorrect once again from try to the RW10 waypoint. So at least that's consistent. It's consistently wrong. But we are on glide path. Correcting back. Pretty happy with the speed. We're getting some variation here, so it's 800 from 265. Cargo traffic Caribbean 401, short final runway 10 cargo. You can see right down there in front of the airplane. There's an image of an airplane with the satellite imagery on the ground. See that? Alright, 107 is our speed. Like a hair more than that. 600 for 265. When we cross the runway, it should say 1.9. But it's not going to. Power out now. 400 for 265.
Approaching decision height.
265.
Decision height.
Alright, my airplane.
200.
Try to stay on glide slope.
100.
Let's see where it puts me down.
50. 40. 30. 20. 10.
Alright. Landing was alright. I've heard some people talk about the fact that the nose wheel comes up when you activate the reversers. So So, mix of good news and bad news. Good news is this driver is beautiful. The previous driver, the one right before this one, which is the definition of previous, I guess, was very good. I like that one. It was perfectly fine. And this one is equally good. The distances on the distances in the FMC for all the waypoints in the flight plan were correct until the approach. So I checked all the en route waypoints and the distances between them, and they were all correct. They were all just fine. But once you get on approach, for whatever reason, which is still eluding me, they are not right. So, don't know what that's all about. But if you're just here for the driver, then the driver's fine. Driver's very good. I'm glad that the ILS, the glide slope put me right. Would put me right in the touchdown zone, which is all you can ask of it. It's this mystery, and what's even more mysterious to me, actually, than the issue itself, is that nobody else has seemed to have realized this. Like, I think I mentioned to you guys, I got thrown out of the official forum, so I can't go there and bring this up, which is really a shame. But nobody's mentioned this, and everybody's mentioned LNAV problems and like all these obscure, like, you know, the NP percentage is off at idle and like all this weird stuff that you know, that's just kind of like technical stuff. Doesn't really have anything to do with flying the airplane. And nobody has noticed that the distances on the approach waypoints are all incorrect. Nobody's noticed that, which I find totally bizarre. And I have no concept of where the in particular. So I feel good about the RNAV. I feel really good about the RNAV. I'm very happy that we were able to do that today. Excuse me, about the ILS. I feel really good about the ILS. That was nice, and it functioned correctly. I don't know if the distances are just being displayed incorrectly, and they're actually. That doesn't make any sense either. You know, that they're actually correct, but they're just being displayed incorrectly. That doesn't make any sense. You know, I've tried following the RNAV glide path down, and it just brings you into the middle of nowhere. Like, and it's not even consistent. It's not even like, okay, well, most of the time it's long, and some of the time it's, you know, some of the time it brings you halfway down the runway, and sometimes it brings you short of the runway. It's not even consistent in that regard. So, you know, I kind of don't understand that. But the ILS seems to work fine, so. And in other news, just to let you guys know, next week, this is now Wednesday the 23rd, I do believe, 2024. next week we should be getting the the Caribbean update for Microsoft Flight Simulator, and I took the week off, and I am going to be streaming as much as I can next week, and hopefully enjoying the new Caribbean in Microsoft Flight Simulator. So we shall see about that. Hopefully that's going to come out. I don't think they've given us a date yet, but they did say January. So still trying to iron out the kinks in the ATR. I hope you guys are doing well. Thumbs up for the new driver, and we'll talk soon.